Welcome back to Delta Code. I am Delta, here to decode investing in stocks and finance for you. Today I will be covering my very popular Coinbase forecast.
Just code, know your ones and your O's, and you could win. Flip language, it's all the same. Mouthpiece, the foundation of game. Talk code to them.
Coinbase is my number one stock position. I am almost all in on Coinbase and often buying the dips because I can produce this forecast that's very accurate. I will give you a quick rundown of this forecast. All the revenue items, cost increases, highlights that I think are worth noting, comparison of my forecast for Q4 and how good it was compared to everybody else. Analyzing the current stock price of Coinbase, the market sentiment of crypto, take a retrospective look of the previous year for Coinbase and what the trend is looking like for their growth. Spoiler, looks amazing. Some fun highlights about subscriptions and services. This guy is excited about this. And a little bit of crypto context to help you visualize and understand the value of crypto. When prices go down, investors, new and experienced ones, tend to cut their positions that they don't have conviction in. You have to understand what you're buying to make sure you don't sell it if things don't look good via price. If you have conviction and know its value, then you know that it's on sale. Take a look at some highlights from the Q4 shareholders letter, and then my thoughts on Trump and what's happening to the market is a result almost entirely from Trump's policies on tariffs and whatnot. Some fun memes in between, a little bit of macro, talking about the dollar index, and what I am doing given all these impactful developments. So let us get started. First, Coinbase, my forecast for Q1 2025, which they're expected to report on May 1st after the market closes, so in about a month, more or less, 1 day off. I expect them to deliver $2.1 billion of revenue, 5% lower than the previous quarter. I expect the net income to be $211 million. This is 73% lower than the previous quarter, largely due to the loss on crypto prices that shaves off $320 million. If it wasn't for that, then the operating profit would have been only 45% lower. Anywho, it is solid. Consumers and institutions are relatively stable, little bit lower than the previous quarter, 10 and 14% respectively. Base transactions are almost the same, and stablecoins are the biggest bump because USDC now has over $60 billion in circulation. It is growing and fast. Blockchain rewards are taking the biggest hit here because the crypto prices are down. Solana, Polkadot, ETH, and all the other staking cryptos on which Coinbase derives its revenue by being a service provider are down, in per token value, so blockchain rewards are down. This can see a fast turnaround because they're making it as a percentage of what is staked. So if the value goes up, they make more revenue. Stablecoins are the biggest bump here, making up for some of that loss here. Overall, I'm expecting 84 cents of earnings per share if the loss on crypto is accounted for. If that is not being accounted for, the investments in crypto on balance sheet, then I expect $2.11 of earnings, which is nice. And it's pretty much in line with expectations, I think. Let us check. Upon further review, looks like other analysts are expecting $1.50 again. That is underestimating by about 40% of what I think will happen. Do what you will with that information. Clearly means nothing to the market. Anyways, stablecoin growth looks lovely. I'm excited about Coinbase being now in Canada, entering Argentina, being approved, and on the roadmap, Korea and Philippines. Currently, in Q4, Coinbase generated 19% of their revenue outside the United States. This is up from 16% same time last year. They've launched in Singapore, Canada, Australia, and Brazil. And I'm excited for these other ones. Coinbase was the number one app in the App Store at one point in Q4 because Trump launched this coin, and I'm sure people were looking how to crypto. And number 3 across all financial apps. Now here is what was my forecast for Q4 compared to other analysts. I said $2 billion 34, and earnings per share would come out at 5. It was pretty much that. I was off by about 3%. But what were the other guys expecting? 1.8, 1.6, 1.7. The results were 2. So they were off by $4 of earnings per share, $3.77, and $3.57. I was off by 13 cents. Is that good? I think it's better than these guys. So I say it's good. And whatever I forgot is better than whatever they remember. Moving on. This is the Q4 results versus forecast. As you can see, I was pretty much in line all over the place. Slight miscalculations because I don't have inside information. This is just math. Overall, I'm really happy with this one. Might have been the most accurate one so far, but still better than all the rest. Being right doesn't mean the market will react the way you think it should. The results were here. They were about 100% better than whatever everybody expected, and the stock went down 50% from 350 to 178. I called that crazy. Now, crypto in general is seeing a big pullback. Fear and greed sentiment index is in the fear zone, and Bitcoin is taking the dominance, which means every other coin is bleeding out. Altcoins is better. Altcoins are better for Coinbase because retail trades altcoins more than Bitcoin. So when altcoin season is happening, this will be much better for Coinbase. But whoever's trading, whatever they're trading on Coinbase is making money in trading fees. So as long as it's happening, it is good. And so far, I'm expecting it to be not so bad. 1.4 billion, that's solid numbers. Moving on. Other cryptos are not holding up as well. Bit of a bloodbath. Bitcoin is 86,000. Ethereum is down below 2,000. holding on to 1900-ish, 2000 level for a few weeks now. It's down 45%. 45% in the last 30 days of this new year. Similar drawdowns to Coinbase. Bitcoin is only down 10% in the last 30 days. Rest of cryptos are looking more like Ethereum in a lot of ways. Meme coins have bursted. The bubble has bursted. You can see 90%, 86%. These are the top coins. Some that were worth billions of dollars. I think Fartcoin was worth $2 billion at one point. It was like $2 or something, and is down 60%. So massive amount of paper wealth was eliminated from the crypto market. Also, AI chatbots are down. Pudgy Penguins launched their token. This is an NFT project, also down. So memes almost all across the board down. Only Trump holding at $10. I think this was at $70 at the height. So even this one is down quite a bit. In retrospect, Coinbase had an amazing year. 2024 was strong year for Coinbase. The revenue doubled to $6.6 billion. Net income was $2.6 billion. They generated $3.3 billion in adjusted EBITDA. Now, the revenue, if you can look here, comparing quarters, in Q4 23, we had 500 million, then a billion, then 780, then 5, then 1.5. And if you compare the 2 years, 2024 is looking a lot better. A lot better for total transaction revenue, which is the biggest revenue driver. Now, fun fact, subscription revenue is on a tear. Zooming out, subscription and services revenue was $2.3 billion, which is a 64% growth year over year, 4.5 times higher compared to levels in the 2021 bull market. Why is this important? Well, it's a more stable source of revenue, subscriptions and services. So people subscribe, you pay your Coinbase $130 every month, like your Netflix account, and that is worth a lot. If paying Netflix $15 a month by hundreds of millions of people is worth so much, then same goes here. Now, this guy thinks that's really important. This guy. Oh, I'm the guy. Now, when there's a pullback, retail investors and even more sophisticated crypto investors will sell something they don't understand. If you have a bunch of stuff in your portfolio and it's red, you may be like, oh, this is a bad one. Cut this loser. But if you understand that it's down for a specific reason, or that you know its true value, then it's an opportunity to buy more. For context, let's consider the largest assets in the world. Consider what these assets have in common and what category of asset Bitcoin and Ethereum are. Think of Bitcoin as digital gold and Ethereum as digital oil. Digital gold, okay? Now, gold is worth $2.1 trillion. It's actually been on a tear lately. Now, you have these tech giants, FANG companies. Apple worth 3.3 trillion, Microsoft almost 3, Nvidia was 3 also, Amazon 2. Bitcoin was almost 2, was 2 recently. Silver, it's overtaken silver. So people give more value to Bitcoin than the metal silver in all of the world. Google is worth less than Bitcoin, okay? Now, Saudi Aramco, that's a mouthful, is worth $1.8 trillion, and they produce oil. This is the Saudi oil company. Ethereum produces blocks and is worth 300 billion. Will it be worth more than oil someday? Perhaps, because ETH is used to pay gas on the Ethereum blockchain. You need to pay to transact, to interact with a smart contract, to mint an NFT, to send a transaction. You always have to use Ethereum, ETH, the currency of the Ethereum blockchain. It's called gas when you pay for it, in the smaller unit called Gwei. Just like you need to fill up your gas tank if you want to drive around, if you want to transact on the world's most decentralized smart contract blockchain, you have to pay in ETH, and that's what gives it value. Now, crypto, in its entirety, is worth more than some countries' entire stock markets. Recently, was worth more than all of Canada's stock market. Right now, it is worth more than the Saudi stock exchange. It is worth more than the Taiwan stock exchange, Swiss, the German, the Australian, the Nordic, Iranian, Korean, South African. All these countries, all their companies put together are not worth as much as crypto. So crypto, if you just think of it as a nation with all these companies, is worth more than many world's biggest stock markets and their companies. Now, my forecast for 2021 was in line with the guidance. I made my own numbers based on my own calculations, then compared it to their guidance, and I'm pretty close. So I'm not going to change much unless somebody screams out that I made a huge mistake somewhere. Now, their transaction revenue, they generated $750 million by February 11th. That's pretty much what I also had. So I think my numbers are probably good. Subscriptions, they're saying 685, 765. 685, 765. 685, 765. 685, 765. I'm actually under. So maybe they did not think. Maybe there will be more. Maybe there will be more stablecoin revenue or more subscriptions or interest that I am not accounting for. So I am being a little more conservative in my forecast than the guidance, but more or less in line. Okay? Now, let us see some stuff. Sorry to jump around. Okay, moving on. Idea of Trump versus reality. This is what we had happened. What had happened was Trump got elected right here. Okay? Which crypto responded with this. Because Trump campaigned on being a pro-crypto president, to be the most pro-crypto. He said he would pardon Ross Ulbricht, the founder of Silk Road, who started the first marketplace where people could use Bitcoin. Yes, people used it to buy illegal stuff around the world, but it was a free marketplace. He just made the website. People did what they wanted with it. He's been in jail for, 10, 15 years because of it. Trump said he would pardon him. He said he would fire Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC that's been extremely hostile to crypto and many times suing companies like Coinbase and others for just doing crypto business for no reason. Many suspect it was part of the Operation Choke Point 1.0 and 2.0, probably pushed by Elizabeth Warren because she's being paid by bankers to stifle crypto because it's a better alternative to paying your bank a bunch of fees for them doing nothing, being closed on the weekends, and taking 3 days to send money and paying $25 or more in wire transfers. Crypto is free. It works 24/7. So it is a threat to the traditional banking system and traditional finance. Some embrace it, like BlackRock. Some fight it, like JP Morgan. And they pay politicians to be against it. There is no voter that is voting for a politician because the politician is anti-crypto, right? There's nobody that's like, yeah, that's my guy. They're anti-NFTs. Doesn't matter. People don't care about that. But there's 50 million Americans that have crypto, and they were hurt by the previous administration's policies that the current administration promised to fix and alleviate, which this is why when Trump got elected, crypto went up. Okay? Crypto was expected to do well under this administration because the laws would be more favorable or at least less hostile. Less hostility from the presidential administration. Also, many Congress people were elected that were pro-crypto, and those who were anti-crypto lost. So that's what happened. Here, Trump launched a meme coin, and Melania launched one the next day, and that was the end of it all. Mostly meme coin bubble bursted. Here, Trump got inaugurated, and ever since he took office and started this tariff bullshit, market's been down only in search of a bottom. And this has been bad for Coinbase. Coinbase is down, just like many other stocks. Tesla is down 50%. All other companies are down 10, 20, 30%. Big companies. So, what's going to happen? In my opinion, this is an opportunity to buy because tariffs don't impact crypto. It's that simple. Now, despite Trump delivering on most of his promises, he did pardon Ross Ulbricht. He did fire Gary Gensler, or Gary quit days before he could be fired. He launched a DeFi project and launched his own meme coin. This is amazing. This is the freaking president of the United States embracing this industry and leaning into it in somewhat, would say, crooked ways, making himself rich. But hey, at least it's legitimizing our industry, and no longer we are fighting the government just to send an NFT picture to each other or fill out, forms, or be put on terrorist watch lists because we use a smart contract that some bad actors might use as well. So all is well, yeah? No. Because Coinbase is down. This was the election. Coinbase went up, just like rest of crypto, and this is the results. It went down, despite beating the results. Right here, 100% better than expectations, and went down. Crazy. And all the Trump bump gains here have been given back. So we're basically where we started. 50 million Americans own crypto. So this is no longer going to be a problem. No politician is going to touch this. It's radioactive. Current market macro conditions. State of crypto. Currently, this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. If you know, you know. In seriousness, this is the dollar index, also known as Dixie. It's been up, which was nice if you're traveling abroad to Japan or Europe. You trade your dollars for more stuff, more euros and stuff. But now it's coming down. This is a good thing. Why is it a good thing when it comes down? Well, when the dollar is weaker, it's good for crypto. This allows other central banks around the world to inject liquidity into the system. More printer go brrr, more crypto goes up. It's kind of simple. Now, all eyes are on China because weaker dollar allows China to print and stimulate their economy with the much expected bazooka. Now, US Fed held rates steady. They're worried about inflation from tariffs, but it's hard to see the tariffs reflected in the numbers. People knew there was going to be tariffs because Trump campaigned on that. So many people ordered things that would have tariffs be placed upon them early. So in Q4 and before tariffs went into effect, people saw a lot of ordering. Now, even if you raise prices go up because of tariffs, they may not be reflected immediately because people already bought it for cheaper. So they did not pass on that cost to consumers, or they might. Who knows? So Fed is worried about that and is expecting inflation from tariffs, but they have no idea what they're actually going to be because Trump is like a bull in a china shop, just breaking shit everywhere. Market is vomiting because they don't like uncertainty. And inflation is expected to be higher if there are actual tariffs. Tariffs are inflationary. If we are charging 15% for all imports, then everything we buy will cost 15% more. It's pretty simple. So, what the Fed is watching is jobs. They can keep interest rates high to fight inflation, but if the jobs market starts suffering, if the labor market is hurt, well, then there's a dual mandate they're juggling, right? They have to keep inflation low and prices stable and employment at full or unemployment low, also at a 3%. So they have to juggle these two things, their dual mandate from Congress. So once jobs start looking bad, that's when we can expect interest rates to actually go down. Some have argued that this is the big brained 5D chess from Trump. Maybe. Lay off people in government, have people be hurt from other things, and we'll get interest rates low so people can refinance their homes and buy homes, and then that will be good. How long this would take to work out, nobody knows. How am I feeling? I'm feeling like that. That's my general state. Everything is burning, but I've been in crypto for a long time. 9 years now. I want to say I've been through 3 cycles. And when stuff goes like this, it's an opportunity. Okay? I'm buying more Ethereum. I'm buying more Coinbase. This could be generational wealth entry points, opportunities. I want to stack as much as I can, shares of Coinbase and ETH. Additionally, I am adding to my Chinese tech stocks, my Dragon portfolio, which you can check out on my YouTube channel. Just search for Dragon Portfolio. It's a whole series. I will do more. I have not finished all the companies. I'm also adding AMD because chips. I like chips. Korean stocks using this Franklin Templeton Korean stock market ETF has low fees and really solid companies. I will make a video about this hopefully sometime soon. Single digit PE ratio for amazing companies like Samsung and others. And I will leave you with this. First, may the force of compound interest be with you, but also, since I've been through these cycles, pullbacks like this are normal. Don't let fear control you. Don't fuck this up. The green God candle is on its way to do that. You may think Ethereum's doing nothing, and it will do that as expected. Not financial advice. Do your own research. And Ray Dalio would say, know when to bet. Knowing when not to bet is as important as knowing what bets are probably worth taking. Thank you for tuning in. As always, may the force of compound interest be with you. Peace.
Just code, know your ones and your O's, and you could win. Flip language, it's all the same. Mouthpiece, the foundation of game. Talk code to 'em.